full full disclosure, my mind is foggy right now. Hey, Teddy, he's playing with butter knives. Teddy, give me that, please. Let's not play with that. Thank you. There's just things that happen that show you that if you're meant to awaken and heal, like this higher path is meant for you in this life, because I almost destroyed myself and my child when I was in my South Node, which is Virgo. And I don't want to jump around, but another thing is that, like, there's a lot of, like, the thing that I see across, I don't know if I want to say across the board, but I've seen it over and over again with people that can call themselves divine masculine, divine feminine, and follow this path. It's like, you have a bunch of past life stuff that you've had to work out to get to this point. That's the thing too, is it's like there's all this inner work that you're doing and all this healing that other people don't see. And so they don't know what to think of you. And so they're just making up stories. And there's this acceptance that we know that we can't please everybody, but it's like there's this acceptance that if you want to have self-mastery and sovereignty, that people are always going to be making up weird stories, or potentially even, I don't even know, maybe people are always talking about you behind your back and doing smear campaigns and stuff. I don't know. Or like people from your past or whatever. But I hope I don't get sidetracked by him doing that. It's like, that you're not choosing what the world is saying about you. You're choosing this control of yourself. And it's really weird because I don't know who else relates to this, but it's like, honestly, the identity part is really trippy for me, because I get caught in that. It feels like a trap or something. It's like, because also the feminine is the mirror. So that's another thing that's it's trippy, for real. It really is trippy. It's beautiful and amazing, and it's brilliant, and I'm getting all these really beautiful feelings from saying that, but like, because I think that we get ourselves caught up if we're trying to like have an identity, because you're trying to attach to something. So because we know, like, you realize that you're like this multi-dimensional thing or whatever. So it's kind of weird, because you want to love and embrace yourself, and I'm not here to tell you how to do that, but I just noticed that I'm like, I'm different every day. Like, I don't know how to explain that, how I'm trying to figure out how to like articulate this, but it's like, there's some days that I'm restless and I want to be like a tomboy, and like, I don't know, like, I just want to be more in my masculine or something. But then there's other days that I want to be more in my feminine. Like, I love being led, and I love when even my kid, like today, he told me what he wanted to do, and I love that. I love playing that role. I love being that like shepherd, and just being the one that stands by and it feels like a shepherd. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, I feel like I'm just there to like be the guide and to help out and stuff like that. Like, very servant like, but it's like, it's a very feminine energy, because the feminine leads in the spirit, but the feminine needs to be led in the physical. So, and I don't have a partner. So it's like, I want to play these different roles, and as a person doing my own thing, and like being a parent, I have to, there's a fluctuation that's always going on. So this is just what's coming to me today, and that I wanted to share, because also my North Node being Pisces is really trippy, because it's like, that's subconscious. So it's like, it's always this uncovering is what it feels like. Cause like, I had this moment today of like, I walked outside in my robe and I was helping this earthworm get back into the ground. The story doesn't matter. But anyways, I just had this moment of like, if people saw me right now, I look ridiculous. And like the fact that at this point we've been doing like the last time I saw my family, they were like making jokes about me being like a hedgehog and like staying stuck in our burrow, and like they thought it was funny, which I didn't think it was funny, but whatever. I mean, they were trying to be playful about it. But anyway, it's like there is an element of that though, because you do become very hermit-like. And it was like all these stories of these different women that I knew that were like widowed and like doing their own thing. It's like that's something that there's pieces like that. Like I said before on another video about your higher self breadcrumbing you, that it's like, because I had to like spend like there's 3 different women that came to mind that were like, I think they were all widowed and or divorced from their like long time husband. So, and some of them had the money from them. Like one of them was my horse trainer, and the way that she like raised her son too was like, I don't want to get caught into too many stories, but like he was very gentlemanly and very respectful of women, but he was real like rough around the edges too. Like it was just because she was that way, and they ran a horse farm. So, you know, they're like, you're rugged if you're doing that, pretty much. I mean, that's a whole separate thing. She was just the coolest chick ever. But it's almost like God wanted me to study under these people in a way. Cause like my grandmother too, I spent a lot of solo time with her. They were very strong women, and they were very comfortable in their skin, and they were very, I mean, everyone has insecurities and all this, like that's always going to be a thing, but like they were they embraced who they were. And so that's what I mean, I guess, is like there's just this there's this grace and this patience, and that God is always giving you as soon as you like want to lean on him, and as soon as you speaking to him every day, and all these things, that it's like, it's easy and it's scary because I'm carrying the weight, and I'm like facing the losses and the poor decisions that I've made and all these things. But it's like, at the same time, I'm okay with it. Like I embrace, like I have moments that I feel stupid, but like, and you move through that. But it's like, I know that I'm not supposed to be my South Node anymore. I know that's not the path for me. And I know that like, there's still going to be changes that I have to make to be, and you're not working for, I don't know, I can't speak for other people, because there are people who have gotten their inheritance, and there's people that have made a profitable life for themselves. But for me, it's like, I'm not moving for money, and I'm trying to figure that part out and all this. But that's what I mean about like, there's just something about like the magic and the grace and the patience and the peace that like, that only you get on this, you only get that from following your North Node, from linking with the divine. And you just accept that it's like, people are going to make weird stories about you. Like I felt like Abba. I don't know if anyone's ever read that story. It's she was like a witch, and she just did her own thing all the time, and people had all these weird stories about her and stuff, but she was like really, really powerful. And I don't relate to all of that, but those stories just came to me today of like, I'm sure that I'll look like the crazy cat lady, even though I don't have any cats. But it's like you kind of are just like, you laugh at it, because it's like, like that's where I think being the mirror is so beautiful and amazing, because it's like, I think it's so interesting when people like think different things, and then they tell me that, and I'm like, okay, cool. Because you're kind of just like, you're not attached to a specific identity either. And so it's like, you can observe it, and you can see the comedy in it. I don't know why these specific things are coming to me today, but there's just this, like, you're moving in between worlds. You're moving outside of like a typical lifestyle. And so there's just this, there's this knowing. And also like a lot of it has been like taking back certain things of like no, like my voice, my truth is sacred. Like my body is sacred. There's a lot of these things I'm still working on, like really honoring them. And like, I don't care if other people want to exploit that, but it's like, I see it that way. And you kind of like, then you start to see why boundaries are so important and why it's like, you can't just be running yourself, like be running, on impulses or running on stress all the time, because it goes hand in hand. It's like you're choosing integrity, you're choosing to honor things, you're choosing to be sacred, you're choosing to see things as sacred. And so it's like you're living this whole other way, and it is very like regal and stuff like that. And it's like, it is what it is. If people want to see you as like the gargoyle down the street or something, like, I don't know. I just think that's the thing about it. Cause it's like, it sort of is this little game, because you're like, you're starting to see yourself through the eyes of God, and just embracing the fact that like, yes, we're a hot mess. I'm gonna look like a hot mess some days. And then other days, like, I want to be a princess, and like, I want to dress up and whatever. And it's just, there's this love and this strength that you get from God that doesn't come from anything else. There's this acceptance that, and this to me, it does also like, is specifically because I don't know what it's like for the masculines, but I know this is how it is for feminines, because even a woman who isn't on this path, you're still going to be a mirror to the masculine when you're in certain instances. So that's what I mean about it does get really trippy, but it's there when you can accept that that's what you like, what your role is. There's this humbleness that just comes with it right away, because you're like, okay, well, like, there's moments where, like I said, you want to be the queen or the king or the princess or whatever, like, you want to feel that way. But there's also moments of just accepting that no one's better than anybody else, and like, it is what it is. But you're still precious to the divine. And then like, I want to be the best that I can be for like my son, but I'm like, I can't be the best for everybody, because I will lose my mind. So, okay, I'm going to stop there. Okay.